What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Bass. Y'all tuned in. It ends the family podcast. Let's run that back. It's your boy Bass, and y'all tuned in to ends the family podcast. Today, what we gonna be talking about, y'all? We're gonna be talking about the challenges I faced in my first couple years of marriage. And I know for everybody, you feel me, it's different strokes for different folks. And some of these topics I feel like some people can relate to, some of it, y'all probably don't. But at the same time, I want to give y'all some insight and I want to have a truthful, honest moment with y'all, and share my experience and what I have learned over these last couple of years. Man, one of the biggest things I learned, I'm gonna start off with number one, man, is learning how to respect your wife or learning how to respect your spouse in general. This is a big difference from a boyfriend girlfriend situation because your spouse is somebody that you're supposed to put first, somebody that you're supposed to always, no matter what, you treat with dignity, respect, and love and gratitude. You feel me? Unless, y'all at that point in your relationship, but if y'all focused on trying to make it work and y'all making it work and y'all going through the motions, treat that person with respect, you feel me, dignity, loyalty, and most, you feel me, show your gratitude, you feel me? Um, but the reason why I say learning how to respect my wife was because at certain times we don't understand how it's not just the words, it's sort of like the actions can be disrespectful or pushing boundaries. You feel me? Um, because a lot of times we go into relationships, and I want to say just say relationship, we go into marriage because you try because now I mean a marriage is a form of relationship, but you kind of going from a girlfriend boyfriend state to like this is for life state. And that requires a different level of respect. Because at the end of the day, a lot of times when we in relationships with people, we're like, I don't give a fuck. That person can leave. Woo, woo, I'm gonna be straight. Like we always carry that I'm gonna be good no matter what. Like I don't need you like how you think I need you. Like no matter what, I'm gonna be straight type shit. Or or just in general, we gotta learn to let old habits go that push boundaries that you shouldn't be pushing if you respect that person. That's in a different type of life. You wouldn't you wouldn't risk losing that person if you had the utmost respect. It's like when you got respect for your parents or respect for your boss at your job, you can restrain yourself from being verbally confrontational. You can restrain yourself from doing certain things that will come off as disrespectful or lack of gratitude towards the opportunity or the situation that you're in. So it's like, damn, if you can listen to your boss, why can't you listen to your wife? You feel me? If you not going like if you feel me, like give your wife or your spouse that same respect that you would give your best friend or your day one homie or something like that. Like, and a lot of people be like, "What? Oh, no," because you feel me. We come from a culture where it's like you feel me. Especially from Detroit, grew up with Doughboy Cash Out. You hear the shit that say always bros before hoes, this, that, and the third. So we invest so much time in trying to show our homeboys, you feel me, and people that, in fact, homeboys and family that, hey, I'm loyal to y'all, I'm loyal to the cause, I'm loyal to what we didn't build, I'm loyal to the time we didn't spend. But at the same time, you gotta give your wife that and more. Why? Because this is the person you've been my whole life with. This is the person that you share DNA with. This is the person that you probably got kids with that you going 50-50 if like in life with. You feel me? Like and we ain't just talking about on bills because that's always a big debate. Oh, should I go 50-50 in this, that, and the third? It's just respecting the fact that like I got somebody that I'm going through life with. So let me be capable of running certain things past them. Like when I first got into like really being married, I was used to being outside. Like you feel me? Like I grew up outside. Like my mom used to be like, hey, go outside and go play. Like so we knew everybody that was outside. We knew what was going on outside and shit. You learn to adapt and appreciate what's outside. You feel me? So it's like just understanding that like shit coming in at like certain times of night. Like shit. You feel me? Like, hey, I need to, call, update my wife. Like, hey, I'm out with such and such. This where we at. We straight. We cool. I'm gonna be back at a certain time. And standing on that business though, like really, really standing on business because it's a respect thing. It ain't just I'm just telling you something just for you to shut up or just for you to not nag me and let me hang out with the guys, but like actually showing like the decency and respect of like, hey, like shit, I just went out with the fellas. We drinking. This where I'm at. This my location. So just in case I get too drunk or I ain't responding, you know where I'm at. You know who I'm with. You know what the situation is. Some people might look at it as like, man, I don't want a motherfucker keeping tabs on me. Woo, woo, woo. But this is a person that you're supposed to be coming home to. This is a person that's supposed to have your back. This is supposed to be your ride or die. How the fuck can they know how to operate, how to maneuver if you don't give them the same type of respect that like you give your homeboy if you sliding over to a bitch crib, you will text him, let him know like, hey, I'm over here, such and such, such and such. Just I'm just letting you know, just in case some shit goes south or shit get played weird. Niggas know where I'm at. Like, yeah, give your spouse that same type of respect because that's who gonna fuck around be pull up game for you. You feel me? And just on a whole nother note, it's just that like you don't want to leave their mind wondering. It been times with shit I'd be at a dice game. Like I said, I used to, hang out outside. I'll be at a dice game or something. Nah, I'm on the phone. We all drunk. Niggas, like, if you ever been at a dice game, like in the hood, motherfuckers is to arguing, motherfuckers is to yelling. It's a whole lot of commotion going on. But why? Because money is on the floor. Whenever money is involved, niggas' emotions get high. He like, nah, niggas is ready to fight over the littlest shit. Niggas watch each other closely. Then you dealing with 100 motherfuckers that's in the streets, that's outside. So they watching anything, everybody arguing they on point because they ain't nobody trying to get cheated, ain't nobody getting mad. So it's just like understanding that like, hey, they got somebody that care about me. So when they hearing that in the background, it's like in your mind, you like, man, there ain't shit going on. This is just everyday life. Woo, 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 woo. Respect the fact that this person care about you. They wondering like, no, why you out there and you from the hood? You know dice games get robbed. You know niggas get shot at dice games over arguments. You know that we need Pampers, we need this, that, and the third. Are you being mindful of the money that you're gambling? Have some respect. Be like, hey, I'm just gambling. I ain't going crazy. I'm just gambling a couple dollars. Woo, woo. I'm straight. I'm safe. Niggas is arguing, but if push come to shove, I'm about to get up out of here in the next 30, 40 minutes. You could be able to communicate that. Have enough respect to want to communicate. Um, like going into a whole like going into the situation, it was like a different level of respect. Like shit, I be out with the fellas or some shit like that, and I'm not really paying attention to my phone. And then if you got a newer state of phone, after a while you miss calls and miss texts, your phone automatically go to D&D, do not disturb. But having a decency and respect, it's like, damn, I'm hanging out. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I, I know my significant others wonder where the fuck am I at? Like, damn, you ain't chat back with me? Like, yeah, no, make sure you chat back with them. Like, that goes into my next statement. It's like making sure that person feels secure. And secure don't always mean when is you out cheating or not. No, secure is like is you out being smart with your decision making. Like on both ends, like make that person feel secure in a situation. Because a person might accept who you are, but that don't make them feel secure. They're gonna still be on edge. They're gonna still be like, God damn, like I don't know what this type of thought process or patterns or lifestyle you doing or living is going. How this shit gonna work out for the both of us? So you want to kind of make them feel secure. They can trust the situation. But that shit take effort. That shit take communication. That shit take investing. A lot of times, like going into a situation, like going into marriage, I was like, I'm used to dealing with women and females a certain type of way. Like at any moment, I know I can step away. If I step away, I'm gonna be straight. But and then not even just that I'm gonna be straight, but I'm okay with going without. Like I was raised to be independent, like as everybody that grows up in the hood that comes from a family where they lacked or they didn't have the whole full household or some shit like that. You learn to be okay with being independent. So you're not used to leaning on somebody. And that will also make somebody feel insecure. So you gotta make them feel insecure in a way that, hey, I need you just as much as you need me. I'm not show it. Yeah, I can be able to live life without you. I lived life without you before I came into the situation. But at the same time, I gotta make you insecure that like going forward though, I don't want to live life without you. So I gotta bring you in on shit. I gotta be more secure in my situation that hey, I can be vulnerable. I can open up emotionally. I can voice my opinion. I can do certain things, and a lot of that come from, you feel me, us on the back end. We gotta realize that too. Like, all right, well, am I creating a safe environment, or am I kind of creating my own type of environment where I feel secure in? But not necessarily thinking about the next person, like our patterns, the way we maneuver. But our patterns and how we maneuver and stuff like that makes people feel a certain type of way. Sometimes we don't understand even the power of like regulating our emotions. Like being responsible for someone else's emotions. Sometimes, you see such things in post, but in reality, you talk to anybody, like, yes, we both hand to hand, because once you've been around somebody for so long, you start to understand their triggers. You start to understand what makes a person go from being calm to being like agitated. It's like learning your partner. You gotta be willing to do that. So it's also it comes with being responsible with emotions. Like if you triggering somebody and you know that you're triggering somebody, like, hey, control that. Just because that's how you go about handling things, don't mean that that's how you should keep going about handling things. Because at the end of the day, you should care about how that person feels, because it's vice versa. So if I understand that if I'm saying certain things and that cause a person to react a certain way, let me learn how to communicate a little differently. If I understand that, like, well, this person is triggered by this type of behavior. Hold on, like let me try to correct myself because it's worth it. At the end of the day, we trying to work to live and build a family together. So if I'm just looking at shit always from my way, accept who I am and how I am, like that shit ain't gonna work. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, it's about us growing together and accepting who we are as individuals, but coming together as in a union. But if I'm just always like on some also it's about how I feel type shit, you gonna neglect the other person's feelings and emotions. And just because you're capable of removing your emotions and shit like that don't mean the next person is. And you gotta take that type of shit into consideration, because if I'm doing certain things that's triggering you, or doing certain things that are causing you to act out or feel certain type of ways, then it's like, all right, well, I gotta understand, how am I feeding the beast within? And a lot of people don't want to look at it from that way. And it also comes down to like, also like, you got to be able to hear your partner. You feel me? Like hear the partner conversation, like, and that goes on both ends. That goes on you and your partner. Y'all gotta be able to hear each other. But person is letting you know that, like, hey, this is a problem, or this, that, and the third. Like we need to fix this. Woo, woo, woo. Don't just take it as a grain of salt. I'm gonna do it when I want to, because it's not about you no more. It's about us. So if I'm making you feel uncomfortable, if I'm making, or my actions is causing some type of like disruption within our relationship, or causing you to feel some type of way, hey, let's sit down, let's talk, let's be able to communicate, let's evaluate that and see if it's an actual problem, like as in like a problem, like if what I'm doing is destructive, or that goes back into what we talked about, secure. Or and what I'm doing, even though it's not as bad as what you may think, but you coming into the sense, you may have been through certain traumas and certain shit like that, which certain actions that make you feel insecure. So you got to be aware of that. And trust me, everything is not always one side. It's not always about what one person is doing with things like that. And that's also what I've been learning. And yeah, that shit goes vice versa. It's going on both ends. But if you want to be the person that you said you are, like me, for example, like right, like fuck the whole me being a man on it or whatever like that. I'm just saying me as a person. I always been put in leadership positions. But if you plan on leading, it's like you gotta give some people something to follow. So you gotta always take certain things into consideration, because people will do things based off of your own actions. And that's what we always gotta remember. Like it's a cause and effect to everything. So when you go into like saying like learning how to have respect for your wife, you gotta understand that like cutting the hose off is that's priority number one. And it's levels to that, because some people be like, yeah, I ain't doing this, I ain't linking up, I ain't fucking woo woo woo, but you still entertaining, you still responding, you still letting them feel like they got a chance, or you giving that doorway, you leaving that doorway open so that there is a chance. You feel me? Having a certain type of respect. Stop pillow talking. Don't share everything. Oh, every time you get mad at your wife, or every time you get mad at your husband, or some shit like that, you ain't gotta tell everybody. Because at the end of the day, communication starts from within the household, then it goes outwards. So if I can't communicate towards you or we ain't communicating towards each other, I shouldn't run to another person and communicate to them first. Even if it's to help dissect my own thought processes and shit like that. I gotta understand that this person needs that communication, this person needs that validation to understand where I'm at and what direction am I moving in. And if I can't communicate that, I need to learn how to because that's part of being in a relationship is communication. But if you don't show the respect or show that you willing to do your due diligence, that you ain't even trying to work on communicating, then it's like you must don't respect me enough to actually feel like there's a need to fix the problem. And that goes back into what I was saying about respect. Like you feel me? And we even talk about like, and that even come down to like respect go all the way around. From cutting off hoes to how you maneuver, communication, to understanding boundaries, no matter if it's even with your own family you was born into. Because you gotta understand when you get married, you start in your own tribe, your own family that you and your spouse are the head of. So you gotta have the respect that like, hey, the outside opinions don't weigh much. So I don't need to consult with them as much. I need to consult with my partner. I need to give my partner that respect, but also give them that security that like you are the person I come to with the problems and this shit. Like, like to me and you need to work this shit out or understanding that we gotta push forward together. Not like, all right, let me go to them and see what they on, how they feel about the subject matter. Nah, because at the end of the day, it's like how they feel don't really matter because they don't control what goes on in the household unless we allow them to. So it's like just understanding that. And then also it's like you not obligated to nobody outside besides the person that you solely you swore before God that you was gonna be obligated for. When you come into this world, your parents are obligated to protect you, to nurture you, to help you grow, to become an adult. Once you become an adult, the rest is in your hands. And part of marriage is you becoming an adult. So it's like you can't even fall into the whole trick bag that like, oh, I gotta do what my people feel like I should do best. Why? Because you didn't marry your people. You already found with them. You start a whole new family. You feel me? So it's like you can't let the outside dictate what goes on inside. And just because you come from this or you're a part of this or this, that, and the third, don't mean that that's how your household has to be ruled. You could come from a Jehovah Witness family and get married to a damn Muslim or something like that, and you like shit. I believe in what you believe in. Shit, let's convert. Then I not your family looking at you like, hold on, you gonna worship like this and this, that, and the third. You know you don't come from that. But it's like it ain't about where I'm coming from, it's about where I'm going. I feel more connected. I feel more spiritually like involved with this way of practice. And this is the practice that me and my household is gonna conduct. And if they don't agree with it, they just don't fucking agree. Ain't no love lost. If the only love is lost is on your end, because I don't look at you no different. I'm just letting you know. My household is just ran a little different. We don't do what you do. We not, we don't have to uphold to your traditions. And you see that, especially with this new age generation, what's going on. Like, oh, you got certain cultures that be like, we want you to marry the same type of race. We want you to marry somebody that's come from your same type of background. Well, it ain't about what you want. It's about the life that I'm trying to live with somebody else. They don't have to meet your standards. They gotta meet my standards, which you gotta hope that you put into me some good standards. And if you feel like my standards ain't good enough, well, it's on me to understand that. It's on me to see that. It's on me to dictate that. You can't live my life for me, and I can't live my life for you. So it's like you got to start putting the family you started first before everybody else, before the block, before your day ones, before your favorite auntie, your favorite uncle, shit like that. Because everybody gonna have an opinion, everybody gonna have advice, everybody gonna have some type of input on what's going on and what's being conducted in your household, in your marriage. And that also comes down to going back to what I'm saying about making somebody feel secure and respect, like stop it. Y'all ain't gotta air out each other dirty laundry. Like I remember when we used to get into it, man, I pull up, man, I'm about to drink, I'm about to vent. I'm thinking like it's just vent. I'm about to vent, woo woo. But the whole time what you'll know is you giving somebody a perception of somebody else that they don't even know the whole situation. They don't even know what the fuck you did wrong. They just the only thing they going off is what you told them the other person did wrong. They don't know what part that you took in it. They don't know none of that. And it's like, but if I respect you, I wouldn't try to dirty your name. I wouldn't try to throw you in the mud. Why? Because at the end of the day, that goes back into I started a family with you. So I gotta protect you from what's going on outside. And then me and you at one inside, we can conduct ourselves. We can settle that shit. I don't need to go outside venting people and all that type of shit all the fucking time. I don't need to. My family even told me this. They told me this best. Stop spilling your motherfucking business because everybody got a motherfucking opinion. Everybody's titled to their fucking opinion. And if you value people's opinion, stop giving them something to have an opinion on that you gonna overvalue. You feel me? So stop telling everybody your problems or every time y'all get into it or every bad little situation that y'all go through. Why? Because they're gonna give you their opinion. And you value their opinion. So now the opinion they give you is what you're gonna bring back into your relationship. Which even though their opinion is coming from a small portion of what they even know, because y'all not even speaking the whole facts. A lot of times when we go vent and we talk about a relationship to other people, it's one-sided. We might be somewhat cautious and be like, yeah, I know I fucked up, but then you can also understand the person you're talking to is gonna always try to take your side. So now they're gonna tell you what you want to hear so you can be in good spirits, but sometimes it's not what you need to hear. Sometimes it's worth just going to your partner first and talking to them about it before you go bad mouth them to somebody else. Because now somebody else is creating perception, but also an opinion that they're gonna insert, and they're thinking because they're trying to do you some justice. But no, just focus on y'all. Have some respect for your relationship. Dirty laundry ain't always got to get aired. Sometimes, like when you go out in public, y'all ain't supposed to be warm with each other. Like me, I was all the time. Like I'm stand my ground wherever. Like you ain't gonna talk to me crazy. You ain't gonna do woo woo. So it's like I go to the toe with you, not like on some hands type shit. But if you ain't about to tell me you ain't about to talk to me crazy and no shit like that. Which sometimes can lead to arguments. And it's like if we out in public and you had this respect for the homies. When we out of public, right or wrong, I'm riding with you. When we get back in the car, we get back to the crib. Hey, we gotta settle shit. Hey, that was a bogus ass move. That shit was bogus as hell. Why the fuck would you do that? But we do that shit in private. You feel me? Not in public. You don't do that shit when you in front of people or you belittling somebody or you making them feel some type of way. Why? Because they feel embarrassed because they're in front of somebody. No, I got your back, and to the outside world, I got your back today. When we get in public, I mean, when we get in private, we can discuss what goes on between us. But when we in public, we get into it. No, have some self control, have some discipline, and have some decency. They're like, hey, and enough respect for somebody to be like, hey, you know what? I'm here with you. I'm here with you. But I'm not about to embarrass us. It's not about me giving a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Like you hear people say it all the time. I don't give a fuck about embarrassing myself or embarrassing you. Or woo, woo. No, it's embarrassing us, and I do give a fuck. That's the respect part. I respect you enough to give a fuck that like I'm not trying to like make you look bad or make our family look bad because at the end of the day it's a reflection of our whole family. Everybody is so individualistic, and I ain't gonna say everybody. At times I was very individualistic, like shit, like I say, nigga ain't about to talk to me crazy, female, male, I don't give a fuck. You ain't about to talk to me crazy, like, and I know, like, and I know what I know, like, you feel me? But then at the same time, it's like it's a time and a place for everything. You feel me? Have some respect for yourself, but also have some respect for your partner. That yeah, all right, you can feel some type of way, I can feel some type of way, but that don't mean I gotta press the issue right now. It's a time and a place. I don't need to argue with you out of public. I don't need to try to argue with you in front of somebody that I feel like they might be on my side, or just because somebody says something that I feel like resonates with me, or like, yeah, you feel me? But then it's like you gotta check yourself because you find yourself at times like, yeah, like, oh, like you feel me? And no offense, like, because people got good intentions when they come to try to mediate, but this is something that we gotta work on. You feel me? And putting your business out there or attacking each other out in public just shows how less of a union that y'all actually have, and that y'all not really standing on solid ground, and that the respect really ain't there because I don't give a fuck about disrespecting or embarrassing you, and you don't give a fuck about it with me. And I'm not saying that that's the case. I'm saying like with me, I learned this just in general. Like, all right, we might get into a heated argument outside of some shit like that, and I'm looking like, damn, all the neighbors, everybody in the see, they watching from the window like, oh, this entertainment. Oh, they always got some shit. Well, you feel me? They gonna be looking like they got some shit going on and this entertainment, but the whole time, you feel me? Like, no, I like ain't y'all entertainment. Not on that type of level. Like shit, when we go out, things like that, yeah, podcast, shit like that, that's entertainment. But me and my wife getting into it ain't y'all entertainment. Me and my wife getting into it ain't y'all tea. Me and my wife getting into it ain't y'all, you feel me? So I'm not like I had to learn to like not put shit out in the public, not put shit out in the air, learning how to control and conduct myself, even on social media. You feel me? Like, yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like check like cutting hoes off and doing shit a certain type of light. Like, yeah, motherfuckers gonna DM you, but is you gonna check them when they do? Or is you just gonna let it just happen because you ain't trying to, you trying to keep shit cool, calm, collective. Like, no, you gotta stand on business all the time. You feel me? And had a self control on the back end of your show. Be like, oh shit, ain't nothing wrong with look, ain't nothing wrong with woo, woo. Yes, there is something wrong with it. There is something wrong with it. Entertaining, something wrong with it. Like, yeah, you like, oh yeah, this person was a friend, this person was this, that, and the third before we came into the situation. But yeah, like I say, respect your significant other, try to make them feel secure, and set boundaries. Motherfuckers can't message you at any time of the day. Like, yeah, like just because yeah, we both came in, we both had male or female friends and all that type of shit. We first came into it, but I'm focused on making you feel secure. So at the end of the day, them is just friends. And if my friends really truly give a fuck about our friendship and me, they respect the fact that I'm trying to focus on building my marriage and solidifying my marriage on solid ground, than versus trying to prove to you how loyal I am. You really fuck with me, you know how loyal I am. You feel me? But you also appreciate that I'm embarking on a whole different type of journey. That's if you on some friend shit. But if you just on some, you feel me, like oh, like you don't, you feel me, you just trying to play it cool and all that type of shit. You can't do that, bro. You can't do that. Can't do that. You feel me? Somebody giving you a high, somebody doing something that you feel like it's kind of out of pocket. Like damn, it's a gray area. Motherfucker don't know where you coming from when you do that. Like you on Facebook or some shit, somebody fucking around and video call you or call you at like motherfucker 2 o'clock in the morning, like, hey, I'm married now. You can't be doing that shit. Like, you can't call, you gotta stand on business. You can't just try to ignore it and like, oh yeah, I ain't about to answer that shit right now. I should call on. No. Answer and let them know, like, hey, you calling at an appropriate time of day. Like, I get it, we cool or woo, woo. Or even if that's part of your, or even if your relationship, like that's just a no. Like if another female or male be calling you, y'all got that in your relationship, like that's how y'all stand on it. All right, you gotta let them know. Stand on that shit. You gotta let them know. Don't wait until the other person looking at you funny and be like, damn, now I gotta stand on business. Like, no, treat them with that decency already because hate it, like it, or love it, the friendships that you had coming into the situation shouldn't trump the marriage that you had. And sometimes we value our friendships more than we value our marriage. Like we want to make sure that I'm showing my day ones or I'm showing this type of person that I'm loyal to them where I'm neglecting the fact to show to my partner that I'm loyal to them. You feel me? And these are all type of little shit that I had to learn and like had to learn along the way. I had to learn how to like talk in a way that was different. Cause I gotta remember I'm not a small dude. You feel me? So when I get to talking, like to me, my voice might not seem raised. I might not feel like I'm irate, but you gotta understand that like you are putting yourself in a threatening position. Watch your like a minute society. Said watch your tone and keep your hands on your head. You feel me? Like you gotta make sure that like little shit, and not just because you not feel like a chump about it, but feel more. Uh the word is called emotional intelligence. Learning how to regulate your own emotions, but also understanding how you can regulate somebody else's. You feel me? And that goes on both ends. It's not just one side. Your partner got to be on the same type of time too. They can't just be on some I don't give a fuck type shit. Because they got to give a fuck about how you feel and your emotions too. And neither one of y'all can go through the whole process of being on some I don't give a fuck type shit and expecting for somebody else to actually give a fuck. Because once somebody feel like you don't give a fuck, they not gonna give a fuck. So you gotta kind of you gotta find out how do you command that ground that like, hey, that like I got boundaries and principles, but at the same time, you stepped on those. I do give a fuck. Like, ain't nothing wrong with letting somebody know you do give a fuck. But carry around that I don't give a fuck persona at the same time is not responsible, but it's not gonna make nobody feel secure, and it ain't showing nobody no decency and respect. Because I thought you got with me because you cared for me. You can't say you care for me, then the next moment say you don't give a fuck. Like you gotta understand that. Like so you don't really care for me. And if you're not really trying to work on or trying to progress, like in these certain areas, that's a form of showing somebody that you care. That's a form of security right there. Like that you actually working on this. I told you that this made me feel uncomfortable. I told you I don't like this. Or I told you that this is a problem for me and actually doing something about it. Not doing it on your own time because you feel like, hey, it's I do what I want when I want. Like, no, it's not about you all the fucking time. It's about us. So if I'm like, that this made me feel uncomfortable, like understand like what we gotta learn to compromise. And a lot of times going into situations like shit, I had to learn how to compromise. And sometimes it's not always about being right. Like man, whenever I feel like I'm right, I'm standing on that shit. I swear to God, I feel like I'm right. And I had that. I used to do that shit when ever since I was a kid. I always had that problem. Me and mom get into it about it. I get into it with teachers, coaches, whatever. It's like 'cause I'm very observant. If I feel like, or not even, and sometimes I can put my feeling to a side. But if I feel like 2 plus 2 is equaling 5, not even I feel it, but if you put say 2 plus 2 equals 5, I'm gonna look at you and be like, no, it's 4. No matter how hard you try to convince me, I'm gonna be like, the fact says 4 is 2 plus 2. 1 plus 3. Nigga, 2 plus 2 don't equal fucking 5. And you type that shit to the calculator, it don't come out. Even though you may feel that way, but that ain't how I feel. I mean, but that ain't what it is. But you also gotta take into consideration that like even when you try to go into that whole type of mood, it's not always about fucking being right. Maybe just understanding where the person is coming from. You will learn a lot once you get in a defense mode. That's the hard part. Because when you're dealing with people that you love and you care about, we don't understand how what we say and how we say it kind of, affects the next person. And that goes vice versa. That's you and that's also your partner towards you. Because if they say a certain thing a certain type of way, or they body language a certain type of way, everybody pick up on that shit. Everybody do. So it's like both parties having the respect, like going back into the whole respect, the respect for each other and a want to make each other feel secure. They're like, hey, you know what? Even though I might feel like I'm right, it's not one of them type of throw the shit in your face. I know I'm right. You know I'm right. We can move on. I ain't gotta beat you down about the shit, or I ain't gotta try to force you to acknowledge the fact that I'm right. Some shit just ain't worth it at the end of the day. Like, and that's what you gotta know, especially if you're trying to cohabitate and move forward. Some shit just ain't worth it. You ain't gotta win every motherfucking battle. You just don't. And some motherfuckers, they pride and ego just getting away. At certain times, it's just shit with me. Shit, pride and ego. Step in. Hey, you're not about to talk to me crazy. You're not about to. I know I'm right. Or some shit like that. And it's not about you knowing you're right. Because it's something that transpired within the interaction that's gonna make them feel on guard. And I gotta stand on what I said. We're trying to understand that. Like, all right, hey, this shit started kind of wrong. I'm not trying to say that like you just asked out wrong. I get it. You got what you got due to this perspective. I'm just letting you know that this is what the situation is. And if that point is not getting across, I'm not about to try to force that shit on you. Ain't no point. Ain't no point. I'm not trying to force this shit on you. And it's learning like you can't force people to agree. You can't force people to take into consideration value of what you want in that given point in time. Like, no, you can't force that. but you would also respect that and appreciate that. Like, hey, this their own individual, they got their own thought process. But be able to compromise and come to an agreement. And that's another big thing is compromise. Like, nigga, a lot of times just put your fucking pride to the side. And not just on half-ass compromise. 'Cause a lot of us we half-ass compromise. Like, we gonna voice the fact that like I'm not fucking with this shit, but I'm gonna do it. But I'm not fucking with this shit. That's not making somebody feel secure in the situation. Because the whole time y'all going throughout the whole situation, they're gonna be thinking about you not really fucking with this shit. Like you're not, and you just faking the funk. Like at least put some effort to making this shit seem somewhat believable. I heard a lady, she was speaking about something similar where she was talking about her marriage and her husband. And she was like, when you at work or you out and about, you with your homies, you can fake laugh, you can fake smile, you can act cordial even though you feel like you've been disrespected and all this type of shit. Why is it when we come home or we next to our significant other, we don't take that into consideration? We rather like go full 0 to 100 on them when we can reserve ourselves to somebody else. We give them a certain level of respect that what, even though I feel like you're wrong, I'm not gonna talk to you crazy. I'm not gonna try to check you. I'm not gonna try to stand on business with you. You know what? I'm gonna let that shit slide. We'll let the shit slide with the bosses. And some of us, not all of us, some of y'all don't, but we'll let certain shit slide that we won't let our spouse slide with. This motherfucker done hit you with a joke that low key offended you, but you let the shit slide because it's the politics of work, it's the politics of the job, or that's just how my homeboy is. He just get to running off at the mouth when he get drunk. Let your spouse do that. You want to play it crazy. Like that shit starts the whole argument. Y'all not fucking with each other for the next couple days or the next couple weeks. You feel me? Because you couldn't let that shit slide, or you feel me? Like you had to stand on business because this person ain't gonna do this, that, and the third. But you ain't do that when you was at work. You ain't do that when you was with the homie. You ain't do that when your auntie or your uncle or like somebody else did that shit. You ain't do that. So you gotta learn to kind of, not kind of, but treat them with that same decency and respect. And then also just like I say, just learn how to compromise. Like shit, like you want to come down to making a decision. You probably don't want to do some shit at the time. But you know what? I'm gonna make the sacrifice because I do want to see you happy. I don't mind if you leave. I don't. Like so shit. If I come up with the idea, I'm cool with that. Cool. You feel me? Or just vice versa. It's just understanding that. Like you have to be okay with letting go. Just be okay with letting go. And for a lot of people, that's hard because they feel like they always had to hold themselves down. They feel like they always had to be on guard. They feel like they always had to carry themselves a certain way, and that's how they got their respect. That's how they got their name, and that's how I came in. Is how I'm gonna go out. That's dumb as hell because life is about growth. Life is about learning. Life is about expanding. And if you get with somebody you don't want to learn or grow with that person, ultimately you stunting that person growth, or you're gonna become a lesson. You feel me? Like you gotta learn how to listen. Learn how to listen on both ends. You feel me? Learn how to listen and learn how to communicate. Shutting down is a form of manipulation. You can't shut down all the time. That's just the truth. You can't when it's time to express how you truly feel. Nah, I'm good. I'm all right. You can't do that shit. Why? Because that shit festering up in you. That shit building up. And then at that, it's a lack of communication going to your partner. Your partner don't know why you feel the way you feel, even though you might think that like you gave off the signs and the signals. Some people is oblivious to shit. So if you assuming that a person understands, or you assuming that a person knows, or assuming that a person gets where you're coming from, no, no, you can't always assume. And you gotta be willing to lead, guide, and teach. This is why I said what I said. This is how I feel the way I feel. It might not be justified, it might not be right, but this is what transpired to make me feel that type of way. There is a responsibility that comes with communicating. in a marriage. It's a responsibility. People like that, marriage is like a whole other job. Well, being in family is a whole other. Yeah, it kind of is because it's responsibilities that come with it. Like you can't just be one sided. You can't always think about how you feel. You feel me? You can't just think about your pride or what you getting out the situation or what's in it for me or you feel me? Once you start saying me, then you take away from the whole union because it's not about you. And oh, happy wife, happy life, happy husband. I should dead. Let's focus on keeping each other happy. Some people like I done heard see the social media post. It ain't my responsibility. Yeah, the fuck it is to a certain extent. Yes, you can't control, you can't always dictate somebody's happiness, but you can damn sure help create an environment that can help influence a positive response when it comes down to happiness. You can't keep putting somebody through some bullshit and expect for them to be happy. You can't treat somebody a certain type of way and expect for them to be happy afterwards. No, do your part. I'm more like a catalyst. I'm like an enabler of your health, of your happiness. Don't be the cause of the shit not to be happy. And to be looking at somebody else like, oh, it ain't my responsibility to make sure you're happy. Yeah, it is. I'm not supposed to make your life miserable. I'm not supposed to make your life trying. I'm not supposed to make your life hard. I'm not supposed to make your life, you feel me, like worse than what it is. I'm supposed to help you grow. We're supposed to grow together. So just keep like little shit like that in mind. That's why I have to keep telling myself. I still tell myself that still to this day because I'm still growing. You feel me? We still, kind of new to this shit, but we true to this shit. But we still new to this shit, and like shit gonna happen, and misunderstandings gonna come, and miscommunication is gonna come, and disputes and arguments and shit like that. But it's the principles that like you learn along the way that you should learn along the way. Because I feel like once you stop learning with each other, then that's when the marriage gonna fall. That's why a lot of people get a divorce. It's because like shit, they be like, shit, you stop hearing me. You stop touching me. You stop doing this. I feel like you didn't do this. I feel like you don't respect me. I feel like it comes down to how you feel, but then it's like the person be looking at you like, damn, I didn't know I made you feel like that. Did you ever take it into consideration? Did you ever make sure their feelings was good? And when they told you they wouldn't, did you care? Um, do you treat them with the same dignity and respect that you would treat yourself? So there's all different things to take into consideration. Like I say, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. But it's your boy Bass. I'm getting ready to tune out. But before I tune out, answer this question in the comments. What's some things you feel like you done that has sabotaged your relationship? No matter if you still in it, y'all still working on it, or y'all just not together no more. What is it that's something that you done that you know was wrong and it sabotaged the relationship? That you know that you could have just corrected, shit would have been smooth. Share it in the comments. Don't forget, support us, kid. Man, support is free. It don't cost you nothing. Just like, share, subscribe, and I'm back at you. It's your boy Bash. Y'all tuned in to Enter Family. We out. Peace. Oh, take me a break. Take me a break. Got to take the A's off. We on live with it too, man. I can't jump out of character for y'all, man. We can't jump out of character, man. But as y'all know, I got two cameras rolling. One of them for the live. The other one is for what we're gonna chop, edit. You feel me? That we're gonna put in motion. Once we really get to, finalizing this episode. For a lot of y'all, that been tuning in to these podcast episodes, I appreciate y'all. Man, our YouTube channel been going crazy the last couple days. I swear to God. Swear to God. Like, no, we looking at, man, the last couple days, man, I was looking at the statistics. Man, 12,000 streams in 48 hours? Man, hey, y'all outdid yourself. I appreciate all the love that we've been getting on YouTube, and I appreciate everybody that's subscribing. I look every day; it's at least 11 to 20 new subscribers. every damn day. I appreciate y'all. We got gifts coming soon, man. We're gonna start handing out gifts, man, because ain't no support like free support, like I said. And then, I want to show my appreciation to y'all because, one hand clean the other. So for all y'all that been supporting, man, we're gonna give it, a giveaway. We debate on if it should be money or if it should be merchandise. Because we understand that not everybody like the same thing, but everybody appreciate money. Not even it don't even gotta be a lot of money. It could be some money. You feel me? So that's what we doing right now. We trying to put something together for y'all to show our appreciation to people, to our loyal followers, loyal subscribers, and people that just been a fan of our progress and our growth that we've been making. So, just keep tuning in with your boy. We gonna keep making this shit happen, man. You know. And then also, man, y'all gotta remember, man, we the voice of the culture, man. We ain't just looking for motherfuckers that just y'all be like, oh, well, I ain't got nothing emotional. Your life is the story. So we looking to share that shit, man. Stop acting like, man, like your life ain't worth hearing about. The shit that you went through ain't worth learning about. You feel me? Or worth learning from. You feel me? That's another thing, man. Like adding a little bit more value to oneself. Because what we gotta understand is what you going through, the other person, another person is going through. But the way you got through it or going about doing it can help give value and insight to somebody else. You feel me? Like so somebody might be like, what the fuck am I gonna talk about on the podcast? I got me a steady job, I'm single, I got 5 kids. That right there is enough to talk about on a podcast. You feel me? Like, how did you get to a form of stability being single with 5 kids? How can you help the next young parent that feel like she got the world against her because she feel like she got no help? She got 5 kids that she don't know how she gonna raise. She don't understand like how she gonna figure this shit out. She can find her own insight or like you feel me, some type of inspiration through hearing your story or how you got through the shit. You ain't gotta be no millionaire. You ain't gotta be no celebrity. You ain't gotta be on love and hip hop or no shit like that. For a motherfucker to really find value what you said. Nowadays, motherfuckers want that real shit. They don't want to hear that fabricated, oh shit, been a fairy tale since the beginning type of bullshit. No, motherfuckers want to hear the real. But motherfuckers want to hear the real effort that you put into the shit too. Don't just try to make it seem like this shit was just some fly by night shit. You feel me? Because then that shit ain't gonna really get nobody nowhere. You feel me? And ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. You feel me? At the end of the day, so it's like just really just keeping all that shit to a real perspective and just really understanding that. You feel me? And just really just standing on that. You feel me? Hey, that was Cuddy right there. You feel me? He had to go grab the keys like Khaled. And we ain't talking about the white ones. We talking about the ones that actually open doors. But yeah, man, it's oh yeah, man. So we're gonna take a little intermission. I appreciate all y'all for tuning in live with us, man. But y'all know y'all tuned in with your boy Bass, and this is Ends the Family. You know what it is. Hey, ain't no support like free support. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. It's your boy, and I'm out.